Disclaimer. This video is for entertainment purposes only. Do not attempt this at home. Vitiated how to will not be responsible because you decided to be a cheap ass and not hire a professional.
On with the show.
That picture, it says, push play, I will always be there. And that hits really hard considering the only two things that had ever been a constant in my life, other than pain and misery, was my grandmother and music. Nothing else was a constant. So I learned to hide in music. Had nowhere else to go. I couldn't get away from the abuse and the sorrow and pain, so music was my outlet when nothing else would help. And Ozzy is my favorite band, and I do understand that a lot of the music he didn't write. I know that as an adult, but as a child it didn't matter. That was my escape. The Diary of a Madman album, Blizzard of Oz, Masters of Reality, Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath. Those albums helped me get through. And I got them courtesy of either friends or Columbia House. I mean, as a kid, you don't know how to deal with grief. Because the ones taking care of you don't know how to be parents. All they know is abuse. So I mean, you latch on to whatever you latch on to. Which is kind of crazy, because I know how things are and how things work. And only having the music to get you through, I mean, that's saying a lot. And I know this may kind of come off kind of insufferable whining, which that is far from it. I'm not like these clowns nowadays that get so uptight and upset, because somebody didn't call me what I wanted to be called, or somebody didn't do this to me, or somebody didn't do that to me. It's like, nah, it's taken 4 years to get to this point, because that person I lost, it was a bad 4 years. I don't remember it too much. I was just here. Because she's the one, she's the reason I'm alive. If it hadn't been for her, her daughter would have fucking killed me. I believe every bit of it. Would have killed me and my two sisters. That's just how imbecilic she was, and still is. So, she was somewhat of a constant, but she was going through grief too. I mean, hell, for the being in it, pretty much we had problems until I became an adult, actually, I think, because I was mad at her because I was being abused and she didn't stop it, and she knew about it, but I didn't know that those 15 years she was going through the same thing I was going through. And she was barely there herself. I didn't know that. I didn't find that out till I became an adult. And I manned up and talked to her and said, what the fuck was your problem? Why'd you let this go on? And then she explained to me what happened. Her daughter tried to kill her several times, so while she was grieving for her dead husband, so she married the first person that wanted to marry her, and she just did whatever it took to get by. So, I mean, I understand that. I kind of understood it, but I didn't. Now, as an adult, I understand it. That she was just there, physically, but mentally she really wasn't. So I understand that. She never did actually get over the grief. She died loving my grandfather. And the man she married realized that, but he ended up being okay with it because they'd been together 35 years. So, I mean, there was that. A little kind of off the subject, but it goes back to the point, the whole point of this video, mainly about the music. Because when I didn't have her, I had the music. And I didn't pay for none of it, because I either had the radio or Columbia House, or somebody would give me it and I would make copies of it. So, I mean, that really pushed me through. And then I became a teenager, and then more problems, more abandonment bullshit. Having to go live with my dad. I mean, he tried. The poor guy tried. I mean, his fucking childhood was worse than mine. So, I mean, fuck. Him trying to raise a kid by himself. Yeah, I'm not mad at him. Not at all. As an adult, I understand. As a child, I didn't. I just stayed up in my room and listened to my albums or my tapes or whatever I had, and I'd just act out and act psychotic and fucking... Only thing I knew how to express was anger and hatred. The music kind of helped a little bit, but still there was all the other. So, I mean, I guess I used music to learn how to feel, because nobody else knew how, that I was around. So I guess that's kind of why Ozzy dying kind of sucks. Because that's just a wake-up call. And I understand what my grandmother felt like when she got older. And my wife's grandma, when she got older. By the time both of them hit the age that they died, everything they ever knew, other than their immediate family, was gone. Everything. All their friends, all their family, the things they've seen on TV, the things they've watched. I mean, their just whole life was a sum of 5 people. The only ones that knew them. Even the music was kind of dated and gone. So I guess that's kind of what I get to look forward to. I mean, I know it sounds actually sounds fucking stupid. But that's what Americans have become. We've become so attached. That's why the grieving is so hard. It ain't like it was back in the Viking days, to where life was so hard we didn't have time to be attached to anything. They mourned for a bit, but they wasn't alone all the time. And hell, most of them didn't live above 35 years old, maybe 40 a lot of times. So, I mean, they didn't have time to get old and realize and watch things they had and knew disappear. Which is kind of interesting to watch. It's cool to watch and it sucks to watch at the same time. So for the people, this is going to be the start of how to deal with grief. I guess I might have to get off my ass and do it now. I've put it off for 4 years. I guess it's time to make that playlist. I've been putting this off for 4 years. Tell you how I did it. And I mean, I did really good for a long time. And now in a time to where, I don't know. I guess it's for the young people more than it is anybody else, because I can kind of relate, but I'm just glad I didn't have my parents trying to cut my penis off or trying to give me all these crazy hormones of the shit they're doing now to the kids and all the brainwashing of the other things that they're doing to them, which is really horrible. Just let a kid be a kid. I'm glad I didn't have to go through that, because I think it would have made my life even more worse than what it was. And I wouldn't have made it as far as I had. I really don't think. But this will be the start of it. I don't know how I'm going to start the next one of it, but we all got to start somewhere.